Very recently, the 1963, 2005 and 2010 TARDISes have been randomly removed from the Gmod workshop. As well as this, some sonic screwdrivers, time vortexes, exteriors and more are also gone. Hello Vezwearers. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the Gmod Doctor Who area, and I just want to explain some of it to you, and what this means for the future. As well as this, I also want to go over the new 2023 Plus TARDIS, because that's still in development and may or may not have a release date now, but I'll go over all that in the end. And if you are wondering, these are Chameleon Circuit exteriors, which is why they may look a bit different. In case you're not up to date with everything, I'll give you a brief backstory. Basically, a couple of days ago, if you looked in your spawn menu, the Gmod workshop, and even the official Gmod TARDIS mod list, you would see that the 1st, 9th, 10th, and 11th Doctor's TARDISes were completely missing, with seemingly no explanation. And this is still the case today. But I just want to show you why this is happening, and what you should do, and more importantly, I guess, what you shouldn't do because of this. The reason these add-ons have been privated is unknown. The creator of the missing add-ons has always been a pretty private person, which I fully respect. However, that does mean that when something like this happens, basically no one in the community really knows what's going on, which just leaves everyone without an explanation. You may know of the recent taking down of all Nintendo Gmod add-ons, so it's not impossible that the creators saw that, and just to be safe took down all their add-ons in case the BBC did something similar. But again, we don't really know, and it's not really our business to know. What you're probably more concerned about is whether these add-ons will come back, and physically they can come back. The add-ons still exist, they're just not public. But more realistically, it is unknown. But again, it has been less than a week, and the best thing to do is wait. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel, because some people have already took a step forward and started remaking some of these deleted add-ons. Again, I'll talk about that towards the end. What I really don't recommend doing is extracting these add-ons, as it's just a really big crappy move towards the creator, who has taken these down upon their own accord and definitely not forced to. For now, I would just again recommend waiting, as we don't know what will happen, and just don't do anything dumb is really what I'm saying. But with the absence of these TARDISes comes the absence of their exteriors in the Chameleon Circuit, but there are alternatives to all of them. For the 1963 TARDIS, there's the 1963 pilot exterior, which I'm assuming is the exterior from the first story, An Unearthly Child. This is a bit different from the exterior used in the old add-on. Most noticeably for me is this roof. It's a lot bigger, but in no way is it worse, and I'm just very glad there is still a proper First Doctor exterior. It even has my favourite setting at the minute, which is the single door, double door toggle on the body groups, so it may even be an improvement. Then for the 2005 TARDIS, there's many different ones. There's the 2005 to 2009 AB box, as well as the 2005 to 2009 C box. However, even though these are on the list, they don't actually exist because of the deletion of the 2005 TARDIS. There still is two more, and these ones do work. It's the 2005 AB box, and the 2009 C box. And these two are just amazing, with many different skins, body groups options, and just everything really. So I'm not exactly complaining. And then in the same section as them, there's a 2010 D box exterior. And as far as I'm aware, this is the only 2010 alternative available. And again, it's just really cool. It has body groups and skins and things, but I'm just glad to have it, you know what I mean? So yeah, many exteriors are now gone, but there are at least replacements for all of them, and I will be making a video on my top 20 favourite Chameleon Circuit exteriors very soon, so keep an eye out if you're interested. But basically, this isn't really an issue. However, the Vortex situation is a bit more of an issue, because one of the add-ons that disappeared is the Time Vortex pack, which I think is fair to say the majority of add-ons used. And what this means is that every single vortex in this pack just doesn't exist in game anymore. So any TARDIS that used it, like this default for instance, when you go into the vortex, the TARDIS just kind of disappears. And you can see where the vortex and TARDIS should be on the map, but just without the vortex of the TARDIS. So yeah, it is quite broken. But everything works perfectly fine from the interior, so it isn't really a big issue. But when you do open the doors, you do just kind of see nothing, which to be fair does look kind of cool. There are, however, some add-ons that didn't use that at all, so they just work completely fine. Like the Twice Upon a Time TARDIS, for instance. This one and all the other ones that use the same vortex as this work completely fine, as if nothing's ever changed. And I'm very glad, because this vortex does look really cool. Some other ones that use this vortex are like the Roof Doctors, the Slick Wine TARDIS and things like that. And also some other ones like the Clyder's Lab TARDIS, which still has one of my favourite vortexes ever, as well as the Edge of Time TARDIS, the Warriors TARDIS and more. So yeah, this does impact many TARDIS add-ons, but it isn't really a massive issue, and there's also many brilliant add-ons that aren't affected at all. But again, a fix to this will probably come pretty soon. But the TARDIS add-ons aren't the only thing that are getting deleted, because quite a big Doctor Who related pack was also deleted, and that's the Sonic Screwdriver pack. Now obviously I have quite a lot of Sonics here, but as far as I remember, the ones in the pack were the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 8th, 10th, 11th, 12th and War Doctor Sonics, so obviously that's quite a lot, and this is kind of a huge loss. And I think it's kind of safe to say there's a lot more Sonics deleted compared to the amount of Sonics than TARDISes deleted compared to the amount of TARDISes, if that makes sense. Thankfully, there are alternatives to the majority of deleted ones, much like in the Chameleon Circuit. The default Sonic add-on by itself has a 10th, 11th and 4th Doctor Sonic. There's also multiple other 11th and 10th Doctor ones as well. There's also another 8th Doctor one and a 2nd Doctor one. And to be honest, these ones are kind of better than the old ones because they're all up to date and the majority of them have new functionalities, like extending and things. However, as far as I'm aware, unless you count the Lego Sonics, which to be fair are really cool, there are no 3rd, 5th, 12th or War Doctor Sonics available anymore, which is a bit of a letdown. But let's just take a step back for a second and probably talk about what all this means for the future of Gmod Doctor Who add-ons. Because, well, first of all, this all really isn't as bad as it seems, which is the main reason I'm making this video, to be honest, because I've seen a lot of people saying this is the end of Gmod Doctor Who stuff, when in reality barely anything has changed from it, and it's all going in the right direction to be fixed. Within a day of all this happening, Torrent64, who has made many amazing TARDISes in the past, has already started development on the new 1963 TARDIS add-on, which is incredible news. And to be honest, the other one was quite outdated, so this would be quite cool to see. As well as that, there's been some rumblings about a fix to the Vortex, which with such short notice is quite insane when you think about it. So as I said, if we just wait, I'm sure it will be dealt with soon enough. And don't forget about the new 2023 Plus TARDIS, because that's still in development and might be coming out sooner than you think. But yeah, in reality, Gmod Doctor Who has never actually been as good as it is right now. But believe you me, with the addition of the 2023 Plus TARDIS, it's going to have a massive impact. If you aren't aware, the 2023 Plus TARDIS is the TARDIS as seen in the 60th anniversary with the 14th Doctor, as well as the next couple seasons with the 15th Doctor. And obviously because this is the current TARDIS, and a lot of people's favourite, especially because I'm one of those people, this being added into Gmod is fantastic news. However, it isn't in Gmod just yet. Luckily, it is in far development, and won't take half a decade to get properly made, unlike the 13th Doctor's TARDIS, which even though was made in the final year of that era, it was still extremely big and everyone was talking about it. So you can't even imagine what this is going to be like when this finally releases. Because over the past couple of months, the curator has released some teaser work in progress images of not only the TARDIS, but another quite big addition to it, which I'll get to in a minute. But the images of this TARDIS are just so cool. This is almost definitely my favourite interior ever seen in the show, so seeing it even unfinished in a screenshot has gotten me really excited. And also that rotor animation is just really good. And there's all the ramps and different levels and hallway doors and everything. The whole thing is just, oh my god, I've no idea what to say. Also, all the lighting just looks incredible. So far we've seen it in quite a dark moody lighting, then with quite a bright blue tinted lighting. So just from that alone, there's a chance it probably has quite a lot of lighting customization. But then on top of that, my personal favourite part is the officially named Disco TARDIS. As we've seen in the show, but also in promos and things, the actual set for the TARDIS has insane lighting colour control. So I'm just over the moon that this is going to be a part of the Gmod add-on too. Obviously it's not known what level of customization it's going to be, but the fact this is even an option is just incredible. Also, from the little we've seen of it, the exterior looks really good as well. I've just realised there's going to end up being quite a lot of 13th to 15th Doctor TARDIS exteriors pretty soon. And just before I show you that quite big addition to the project that isn't really to the TARDIS, why don't you subscribe to help us get to 2,000? Because it's basically confirmed by the creator that this is coming out around the 11th of May, alongside the new season. So make sure you have notifications on to not miss my full review of it, because it's probably going to be my best video ever, coming from the guy who makes it. But anyway, this extra thing I keep talking about is not one, but two different player models for the 14th and 15th Doctors. We haven't seen too much of the 15th Doctor one, but even from this one screenshot, you can see just how good it looks. I mean, it literally looks like a photo of Ncuti Gatwa, but it's just in Blender. But we've seen quite a few of the 14th Doctor ones. I think there's one with a jacket on, one without a jacket, things like that. I know I keep saying this, but it's all just incredible. And in case you're wondering, the images are blurry on purpose, just because it's still a work in progress and things. But these are going to be absolutely great, and there's no doubt about it. It's quite a random thing to be doing, but is very welcomed. But if you want even more reassurance that Gmod TARDISes can still be good in 2024, watch my review of the Monk's TARDIS here.